Hey, if you're a singles player, you need to watch today's video because today I'm going to reveal the top 7 reasons why you lose singles matches. So if you want to win more matches, let's get started right now. Okay, the number 1 reason why you don't win your singles matches is you're not playing with good strategy when you go out there. And here's just a good litmus test to see if you're somebody who likes to strategize when you play your matches. When you lose a match, are you more likely the next day to go back to the practice court or go back to the coach and say, oh man, my forehand was off or my serve was off and I gotta really groove that so I can win my next match. I wanna really get in a great groove today. I wanna hit awesome balls. It's always about that, it seems like, when people talk about why they lost. Their forehand was off, their backhand was off. How many times have you come back to the practice court and go, you know what, I gotta work on hitting like a high ball to my opponent's backhand because they didn't really handle that well, but I couldn't get it enough consistently high their backhand to really take advantage of their weakness. You know, that's what I want you to start to think about. The next time you lose a match, think about what their weakness was and go back to the practice court and figure out a shot that you need to perfect to exploit that weakness. That's more the way you start to think in strategy. When you're in the warm-up, start to gauge and look at your opponent and figure out what they like to do and don't like to do. Hit a ball right down the middle. Notice where they go. Do they step out and always want to hit a forehand? Or do they step out and prefer to hit a backhand? That's going to tell you a lot about what they like to do. When they come up to the net, take a look at their volleys, stretch them, make sure they're hitting forehand and backhand volleys. Look at that overhead. When they come to the net, most people when they come to the net, and you hit them a lob that's past the service line, they can't put the overhead away if they're playing 4-0 tennis or below consistently. Maybe once in a while they do. So rather than forcing a passing shot, hit a lob when they come on in. Lob often, okay? You win a lot more points. Maybe it's not as fun as blasting a passing shot down the line, but you want to win the match or not. In fact, when's the last time you went out to a match and intentionally brought your opponent to the net? When's the last time you're in your mind you're going, okay, today I'm going to definitely test them and see how they do coming to the net? And it's a little bit of the coach's fault because we're always talking about hitting a nice solid deep ball, which is a great shot you want to hit, and that hitting a short ball is a negative thing. But if you can hit a knifing short ball like Roger Federer does so much, then you can start to bring people in on your terms where they have to create a lot of skill to come to the net. So just right there, the next time you play a match, I want you to intentionally, don't go out there and play a match without intentionally bringing an opponent to the net and see how that works, okay? Many people cannot come to the net and successfully put the ball away over and over again. So that's a play you might be able to run all day long, okay? So hopefully I've got the wheels spinning right now, and we'll get into reason number 2 why you're losing your singles matches. Okay, did you know that on the Pro Tour, most points end within 4 balls? And did you know that at the recreational level, when we're talking about 3.0s, 3.5s, 4.0s, 4.5s, 5s, it doesn't matter. Across the board, again, most points are ending within 4 shots. So think about that. That's really you only making 2 shots. That's a serve, and the ball comes back and you're missing, right? Or maybe you get your return back in, the next ball comes, you miss. That's how quickly you're losing points statistically. That's what the stats say. As they say, numbers don't lie, right? So you're losing what I call the battle to 3. I like to teach my students to just go, okay, can you make 3 balls, point in, point out, no matter what you have to do. Even if you just gotta punch a ball in to get it going, let's get that battle to 3. Let's make sure that point in and point out, we can figure out a way to put 3 balls on our side over the net. If you do that, all of a sudden, you know, like they say, meat just falling off the bone. All of a sudden, points are just racking up in your favor easily. And it's a really cool thing because your opponent's not even realizing, they're not even playing this game in their head. So rather than worrying about being up 15 love, 30 love, start to think about how many times when a point starts can I make 3 balls or more in a row. Obviously, the more you can make in a row, you're going to be winning more matches. On the Pro Tour, offense kind of rules the day. That's why people are missing within 3 shots. There's a huge serve that they can't deal with, or a really deep fastball into the corner that someone makes an unforced error on. But at the recreational level, it's self-inflicted wounds. Our opponent's not necessarily hitting these haymaker bombs at us. We're just making silly mistakes. So if you can get and win that battle to 3 that's in your head that they're not even thinking about, you're going to be winning matches so much easier. Okay, reason number 3 why you're losing your matches, and this is going to actually help you win that battle to 3, is you're not balanced after you serve. I look at a lot of people's videos. I have lessons that come to me. I have people send me videos all over the world on their serve, and so many people fall off their target. So not only is this going to make you miss more serves, but you're not going to be ready for the next ball. When's the last time you went out with a basket of balls and were really focused about how you landed and how your balance was, and are you ready for the next ball? Normally you're just thinking about all the stuff leading up to hitting the ball and making sure you do that right, and then hoping that your serve went in the box, and if it went in the box kind of where you wanted and you hit enough pace to where you're happy with that, that's all you're thinking about, okay? You're not really focused on your landing. And so many players, they'll go into their serve, and as they're hitting, they're falling away. So if you're falling away from that serve, now you got to turn your body completely around, get ready and hit. You're going to be rushed. This is a big reason why you're losing that battle to 3. This is a big reason why you're making a mistake within the first couple of balls. So if you can start to learn how to get balanced after every serve to where your body is facing right towards your target, you feel power in your legs when you land, and you can have a quick spring back into a split step. Now all of a sudden you're going to be ready for that next ball. You're going to be winning the battle of 3, and my friend, you're going to be winning a lot more tennis matches. Hey, if you're enjoying this list on the top 7 reasons why you lose singles matches, and the video has helped you in any way so far, please give this video a like. It would really mean a lot to me, and my puppy bee too. When you like this video, you get unlimited puppy kisses, and you're gonna want that. You're gonna need that. Okay, let's get into our next tip. Okay, reason number 4 why you lose tennis matches is you play how you want to play, but not how you should play. Let me explain. I've got 2 really good tips for you. And I want you to know that that doesn't mean you can't develop into a game that you want and it will work for you. But you always want to play to your strengths if you want to go out there and win that day. So I gave a clinic in Florida. This guy really loved to try and hit topspin on both his forehand and his backhand. And the first day in the clinic, he went out and he got absolutely just destroyed in his match. And after the first day, we were out to dinner and it was a great day, but I could see that he was depressed and I felt really bad for him, and we started to talk about it. And so then I really kind of had a special mission in my head to go, okay, this guy's got to have a great weekend. The next day we go out and we're working on chipping the ball in the box to warm up. Chipping the ball. That was our first exercise. Then it was chipping and doing the topspin. Well, as far as chipping the ball into the box back and forth, he was the best at that. Okay, no one was even close. Then we worked on volleys. He had the best volley technique out of anybody. And so I explained to him when we went into our matches, I'm like, we had a little meeting at lunch. I'm like, I know you like to hit the topspin, this and that. You're going to need to develop that a little more in your practices before you can really deploy that in the match. It's not really going to work in a match too great right now. But what is going to work is when you see a second serve, chipping and coming in, serving and volleying, things like that. He worked on being more of an attacker, more punching through his shots. And of course, you might be thinking, well, that doesn't sound like much fun. I mean, that's old school, isn't it? Well, he ended up just dominating everybody in the afternoon. He had a big smile on his face. He had so much fun, and he won, okay? So that's how, what I mean by playing like you should play instead of how you maybe want to play. Now, there's nothing wrong with my buddy who we helped out that day and that weekend, going home and working on developing and adding topspin to his game until it's functional, until it's going to work and be deployed successfully in his matches. But until he can really do that, he's just shooting himself in the foot by trying to do what he wants that he's not really ready to do instead of what already works. So when you go out and you play your matches, go with what works. Know yourself, know your game. If you don't know, maybe ask your coaches, hey, what do you think I am best at? What naturally works for me? Ask your friends so you can really start to put a blueprint for what you do, who you're about, what your strengths are as a tennis player. Okay, tip number 5 why you're losing matches is you don't know where to move after you hit a ball. Okay, how and where you hit a ball is going to dictate where you need to recover to. Okay, as far as how far back should you be, how close in should you be, that's all part of the game. But here's a really simple thing that you might be, a mistake you might be making because of the way you've been coached, and I'm sorry for that, is one of the first things I always heard is after you hit, get back to the middle. That's not necessarily a bad tip, okay? But when you're playing a match, you can start to move too much, okay? So this might be a nice refreshing thing to hear, is you can actually move too much, work too hard. So if I'm hitting the ball cross court and I'm always working on getting back to the middle, I'm gonna get exhausted and I'm actually not gonna be covering the angles as well. And I'm gonna be more vulnerable if they go cross court again. Okay? And lots of, especially good tennis, you play in patterns. So you get into a cross-court rally. So if I get established a cross-court rally, I've only got to recover to here. All right? So let me just give you one little pattern you can do. Let's say you're playing a match, you're hitting cross-court, you keep recovering to here instead of all the way back to the middle. Just that little bit of difference is going to save you a lot of time and energy and keep you in a flow and on balance to hit your next shot. Now let's say you decide to hit the ball down the line. Well, the ball is right in front of you, right? So you'd think, well, maybe I just got to get to here. No, actually what you're going to do, if you hit that shot down the line, you're going to cross over the middle slightly. Why would I do that? Why would I do that? Because now there's a good chance that my opponent is going to get there and try and hit the ball cross court, but if they still hit it down the line, I'm going to be in great position because what I'm doing, especially on my forehand side, is if I hit the ball down the line and I move over, now I've shaded the court to where I can really keep the ball on my forehand side and offensively try and start to finish the point. So just little things like that, knowing where to move and how it's going to set you up for success will help you win so many more tennis matches. Hey, if you're watching this video and you're somebody who's been stuck at the same level for years, let's say you've been playing 3.5 tennis for the last 5, 10, maybe even 15 years, and you want to go up to that 4.0, I've got something really cool for you right now. I have Next Level University training for you. It's free train, 8-part free training series. And if you ever decide that you want to join the university, you unlock all my courses and you also unlock me to where I will analyze your serve, your forehand, your backhand, anything that's been getting you stuck for the last 5 to 10, 15 years, I'm going to help you get unstuck. So click up here in the card section or in the description. Okay, let's get into our next tip. Okay, tip number 6, why you're losing singles matches is the mid-court. This part, which should be getting you in a position to win a point, is a disaster for you. You come up, you miss approach shots, you overhit, you underhit. Have you ever underhit an approach shot where you're just afraid to hit the ball and you just kind of puff it over and you still run to the net kind of on a kamikaze mission and you get easily passed or lobbed? You don't cover the angles correctly. These are the things that's really, really keeping you back from going to that next level and winning your matches. You can get there in a rally. It's one of the most frustrating things, right? You're like, I can rally with this person all day, but I get so many opportunities here and I just keep blowing it. So what I want you to start to think about is really work on your approach shot, and rather than thinking that you have to kill all your approach shots, really to start to decide what are the approach shots that you can start to hit harder, what shots maybe you develop a nice little slice, low approach shot that's skidding rather than having to work on a big bomb approach shot. So, especially low balls, being able to come up with a nice sliding shot, especially at the level that we're out there playing at, 3-0, 3-5, 4-0, even 4-5, 5-0 tennis. You've got a really devastating slice approach shot. It's going to set you up for a lot of volleys over and above your shoulder. So that's one of the first things that I'd work on if I were you. I'd work on developing a nice slice shot. Another thing that I would work on is having your midsection, which is this is area 3 in tennis, from basically right here where your short level would cut off to just over your belly button, under your chest. This is where most people like to hit a tennis ball. So when they see a ball coming, a short ball, many people let the ball bounce, come up, and then start to descend down and take the ball at their waist. Well, that's going to have you hitting the ball much further back than you really should to get a great position on the net. So when you start to get better coming in net and hit better approach shots, you actually start and want to look for getting a ball right here. Okay, this should now be your comfort zone. Basically your chest up to about your eye level. You want to get up to the ball to where you're hitting up there. Now you can start to swing down on the court. If you want to hit big, crushing approach shots, get good at the ball coming up and you're smacking it right here. Now you're taking time away from your opponent and you're making a lot more of these approach shots because you can actually see over the net into the court area rather than looking back at the out area. Like right now as I'm talking to you and I look over the net, I see green, I don't see blue. But the closer I move, now right here I can see blue for the first time. So if I can get up here and hit an approach shot, it gets much easier to execute, especially if I can get the ball higher and pretty much be swinging down at the ball, of course with good technique. And if you can do that, you're going to start to master that mid-court and get to the net a lot easier and have a lot more easy put-away volleys. Okay, tip number 7. This is huge. You're not using your time wisely in between points. In fact, we did a live stream with Gigi Fernandez, 17-time Grand Slam champion. She was talking about how 80% of playing time is not actually playing tennis. It's in between points. So what you're doing in between points on your changeover, it can have a big impact on you winning and losing, especially if you use your time wisely and be in control of the tempo of the match. You're sending a message to your opponent. The more you look calm, the more you get yourself pumped up, right? The less you react negatively to a bad miss. These are all sending signals to your opponent that you're somebody that's mentally tough, okay? And just appearing to be mentally tough, even though you might be not having the greatest thoughts in your head, it's going to help you win more matches, trust me. Another thing, if you're playing a point and you miss a shot and you're walking directly across the court to play the next point, you're not using your time wisely. What you want to do is what you see the pros do. What do? They get off the court, they go to the back of the court, they get a towel, they look at their strings. And what they're doing is, first of all, they're calming themselves down. You know, so you can't always just be right in the field of battle right here, which is inside the court. The more you do that, you just kind of keep that stress level up. So a lot of going back to the back court is kind of like detoxing from the stress. You get back there, you just relax for a couple seconds, you take some deep breaths that will help you relax, you know, you clear your head, and then you start to kind of work your way back into what you want for the next point. You know, really take stock of what's working, what's not working, what you need to do next to take advantage of your opponent and win the point. So there are your 7 steps to winning more matches, okay? So we're really figuring out what we're doing wrong, and now we can turn that around. That's the great thing. Remember, if you want me to help you turn it around, I got a free 8-part training series for you right now, where I'm going to show you what Next Level University is all about. It's probably my favorite program because you unlock all of my courses And I've got amazing courses on the serve, forehand, backhand. We've got strategy courses. I've got 4 tennis cons now. Just 4 tennis cons to where I have the best coaches in the world helping you get better at everything you can think about, whether it's your technique, your strategy, your mental toughness, your physical fitness. It's all in there. Plus, you can send me videos for me to analyze. So to get started for free, what I want you to do is click up in the card section and go down in the description. Also, if you're still watching this video, that means that you're totally obsessed with tennis, and you should subscribe, because I help totally obsessed tennis players get to the next level on my YouTube channel and in my courses, so you don't want to miss a thing. So you want to subscribe right now, ding the notification bell. What that's going to do for you is subscribe you to my channel so you don't miss any videos, and it's going to buy you unlimited puppy kisses from B2. So if you subscribe, I'll definitely be seeing you on the next video.